Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Naše programy nabízejí více jazyků. Prosím, navštivte suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Dr. Rehman's medical specialty is assisting pregnant women, but she offers healthcare to everyone, her fellow refugees and the local Pakistani population. And when her patients cannot afford to pay, she gives them the medications they need without charging them. Dr. Saleema Rehman, pioneer female Afghan refugee and role model, part 2 of 2. Please continue watching to learn how a dedicated daughter fulfilled her father's prayer.
Vegetarianism involves ideals and morals which the human race has been seeking to express all through its history. Reverend Victor A. Callow, vegetarian.
Jayaku means hello in the Otomi language spoken by the indigenous people of the central Mexican plateau. Benevolent viewers, my name is Oswaldo and seeing you here brightens my day. The soft-hearted Otomi people pray for your supportive spirit to feel heaven's grateful embrace. Welcome to our program titled Dr. Saleema Rehman, Pioneer Female Afghan Refugee and Role Model, Part 2 of 2. In our previous show, we learned about Dr. Rehman's childhood in Pakistan. She attended a primary school for Afghan refugee children and later integrated into one of the country's public high schools for girls. Today, she runs a clinic in her hometown and is the regional winner of the 2021 UNHCR Nansen Refugee Award. Her perseverance resonates among many women and her service to displaced people has a global significance. Today, we will share more excerpts from an interview with this outstanding young woman. In the Punjab province of Pakistan, only one refugee is allowed annually to attend a medical college. This rule postponed Dr. Rehman's continuing education by 2 years. When she was finally accepted, it was a great relief and a milestone in her life. She studied hard, completed all of the required courses in medicine and surgery, and became a doctor. As it turned out, her residency at Holy Family Hospital in Rawalpindi coincided with the outbreak of COVID-19. Since Dr. Rehman chose to specialize in gynecology and obstetrics, her main work was treating mothers and delivering babies. But the pandemic gave rise to staff exhaustion and shortages. For much of 2020, Dr. Rehman was working long days shoulder to shoulder with Pakistani doctors.
I never gave up. I continued my services, and I was happy to find that opportunity to serve locals as well as refugees when everyone was going through a difficult situation, a pandemic. There was a lot of fear and anxiety among people, but I remained very calm and I was working in frontline to save the lives because this was the time to give back to the host country where I was living as a refugee, and I was able to prove that I can do something and I can give back to my community where I'm living. So I was very enthusiastic and motivated to treat people in time of need.
Although the inspired young physician could work and complete her residency at Holy Family Hospital, she had to leave when her training ended in 2021. Public sector medical centers require a national identity card for employment. Dr. Rehman could only join a private hospital with her refugee card, but those institutions generally prefer local Pakistani doctors. The only remaining possibility was that the government would grant her a license to open a private clinic.
So this is the welcome development by the government of Pakistan to allow Afghan refugees to practice on private basis in early 2021. They started giving us license. This is the new policy which they made because we continuously applied for years to provide us the license to practice. Eventually, they decided to give us license in early January 2021.
Dr. Rehman is grateful to the Pakistani government for changing the licensing rules, and she is extremely thankful to her father for providing the money she needed to start her clinic in Adak. This city is where she and her community live. They are Afghan refugees descended from ancestors in Turkmenistan. Dr. Rehman's medical specialty is assisting pregnant women, but she offers health care to everyone, her fellow refugees and the local Pakistani population. And when her patients cannot afford to pay, she gives them the medication they need without charging them.
Yes, that is very true. Because I have come from this community, Afghan refugees, I have seen that they are living below the poverty line and they can't manage to get medical assistance. They can't manage to go to clinic and even hospital, and they can't manage to get medicines for themselves. But I have opened the opportunity for the poor people who are poor. They can come and get free medical assistance by me. That is, I am doing for humanity purpose. And that all thing I wanted to do for poor people was in my mind to do something for them.
Vegan, because we are ethically sound.
We will take a moment now to close our eyes and appreciate the healthcare workers who serve as instruments of Allah's comforting care. When we return, we will hear more from Dr. Rehman, so please stay with us here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program. Dr. Saleema Rehman, Pioneer Female Afghan Refugee and Role Model, Part 2 of 2, on Supreme Master Television. Most of Dr. Rehman's clients are women from the Turkmen community. They are greatly relieved to have a woman examine them and enjoy being able to communicate directly with a medical professional who speaks their language.
I remember when I was a child, I saw them very reluctant to go to local doctor because they always prefer a female doctor to get checked. And when I opened my clinic near my own house, they started coming here to get medical assistance freely with confidence, and they don't have to face any language barrier. So they communicate their all problems easily. And when they come, they usually get medical consultation and treatment. They get happy, and they always give me a remark that today I feel like I have opened my heart and I conveyed my problems easily. And we are very proud of you that you are here to serve us, and we are very happy to see all this.
Since opening her clinic in June 2021, Dr. Rehman's reputation has spread beyond Adak all the way to Afghanistan. Women there have learned that they can call her for a consultation.
When they need any sort of medical assistance or advice, they contact me. Because in Afghanistan, there is a lack of doctors, especially the gynecologists. They can't get treatment from their own city. So they communicate with me, telephone, and then get advice, further advice. Even some of the patients also come from Afghanistan to get treatment by me. And I'm very fortunate to help them in time of need.
It's a win-win situation when a country welcomes and nurtures immigrants. In 2021, Pakistan hosted the fourth largest number of refugees globally. Its inclusive policies, particularly in education, human capital development, and healthcare, contributed to a more qualified workforce and economic growth.
Yes, you are very right. Refugees make a great contribution to the community because the society where we are living, when refugees are provided with opportunities and equal rights, they can give back to the host community. They can bring peace and development not only in the host country, but their own country. So refugees should not be taken as a burden. In fact, they should be provided with the opportunities and support so that they can reach their full potential.
Dr. Rehman longs to see all Afghan women gaining access to basic services such as healthcare and education. It is also important for men to have these things, but she feels we need to focus more on education for girls because their rights are more vulnerable to being ignored by society.
When I go to my previous school, I always meet young girls and I encourage them to study more and to not stop here, because in our area, if girl is allowed to go to school, then they are not being sent to the higher level school. So I always encourage them to not stop here and to continue studying and work hard till they achieve their dream.
The students that Dr. Rehman talks to convey her advice to their parents. Gradually, people comprehend that education benefits everyone, not only girls. It empowers refugees with knowledge and skills for living more productive and independent lives.
Yes, that's true. When community elders come and congratulate my father for making his daughter a doctor, and now how I can serve my community, they always admire. That's a proud moment, not just for me, but for my parents. And a turning point for young girls that they gave my example to their parents that I want to become a doctor like Dr. Saleema, which makes me feel very proud.
We thank Dr. Rehman for sharing precious time and insights with us. Her story is a testament to the power of being devoted to a noble ideal, and she reminds us that a bright future depends on providing opportunities for learning to children of all genders. For more information about Dr. Rehman and her work, please visit facebook.com/Saleema.Rehman.
This is a beautiful planet that God bestowed upon us. Please preserve it by being vegan.
Agreeable viewers, we are pleased and grateful that you joined us today. Coming up next is World Leaders Must Protect Freedom and Democracy Through Action, Part 1 of 5, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May your heart overflow with joyful optimism.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/GPGW.